Kamala Harris's filibuster-abolition promise, wise? The Senate filibuster may seem boring, but it's as high drama as U.S. government gets. To approve a national abortion protection law, Vice President Kamala Harris wants to end the filibuster. Karen Tumulty and Perry Bacon Jr. and I are discussing whether that is wise. Molly Roberts, straight to the point, does eliminating the filibuster for abortion laws make sense? One that will bite Harris? Both? Karen Tumulty, firstly, as president, she could not amend the Senate's internal rules to eliminate the filibuster. I dislike the notion overall. The filibuster has been misused in recent decades, but eliminating it for nominations, including Supreme Court candidates, is why Roe v. Wade was overturned. I count 10 Senate leadership changes since 1980. What seems like a good idea to Democrats now may not be so next year with a modest Republican majority. Perry Bacon Jr., excellent idea. Reproductive rights are universal and should not be state-specific. Need a national law. And I don't know why that should require a supermajority instead of a simple majority. Filibustering should generally end. Veto points abound in U.S. politics. Legislation requires two chambers, presidential signature, and federal court approval. Changes to our archaic constitution are nearly impossible. Another non-constitutional veto point is the filibuster. Put it behind you, Molly, since you people tend to differ. This should make a nice argument. I support Perry. Karen, does the filibuster and other government conflicts Perry highlighted make Congress seem ineffective? Is there an answer? Karen, I want, and have written about, more real filibusters. Not these bogus ones where the poor clerk sits and reads a roll call to an empty chamber. It should be mandatory for senators to sit during filibusters. In 1988, then-Majority Leader Robert Byrd called for a quorum during a campaign finance filibuster. Byrd instructed the sergeant-at-arms to arrest the absent senators. The nocturnal manhunt brought Senator Bob Packwood onto the Senate floor feet first as he tried to lock himself in his office. Molly, I plan to inquire. Most people envisage a senator tenaciously and, sometimes, eloquently holding the floor for hours, like in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That's not how things work today. Reviving the talking filibuster would stimulate debate. Perry, is it enough or not? Perry, physically difficult or easy filibusters don't matter. I want bill passage to be easy. Partially ideological. Stephen Miller, Trump advisor, probably agrees. The most centrist senator in Congress, Joe Manchin, disagrees. Filibusters are bad if you want more huge, sweeping legislation, which I and Miller support for different policies. If they had enough votes, Republicans would approve their proposals. Karen, Perry is accurate that the filibuster is not in the Constitution, but the authors obviously intended that chamber to have a distinct culture than the House. Initially, senators were not directly elected and had staggered 6-year terms. The goal was to proceed slowly and deliberately. That means senators had to compromise and agree. Molly, nowadays, a compromise that takes 60 votes seems inconceivable. Karen, budget reconciliation, requiring 51 votes, may accomplish much. There are alternative options. Molly, Perry, since Harris is unlikely to win a Senate majority, the filibuster may not help her. Does that worry you, Perry? If Democrats lose the Senate, this is pointless. I think one-party governing is necessary now, hence filibuster elimination is important. If you need Republican votes, you can't move on climate policy, abortion, voting rights, and other vital problems. That would never happen today, but reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act received roughly 400 House and 98 Senate votes in 2006. The filibuster will limit Democratic presidents to small-bore legislation like Biden's CHIPS Act. Many presidents have utilized reconciliation to avoid filibusters. We now have a strange majority rule for economic policy, but supermajority for social policy. Republicans should not pass a national abortion ban with 51 votes. I don't want to rule out a national pro-choice bill because of Republicans.